I need a bit of practice.
My dear cousin, come closer and tell me what brings you...
Constantine, is it true? Are you in great pain?
This sickness is horrible, believe me. Now I understand what your mother went through. But you have not come to hear my complaints. Speak, it will give me something else to ponder.
Allow me to present Afra, an emissary of the Bridge Alliance. She is an eminent naturalist who studies local flora in an effort to find a remedy.
Your Excellency, it is a great honor.
You were part of Governor Buren's lost expedition, if I've understood correctly, were you not?
Yes, And our research would have borne fruit if it hadn't been so brutally interrupted.
I can only imagine. Nevertheless, you are most welcome. Your great learning will certainly prove useful. I implore you, my dear cousin. Do continue. We are eager to hear your news.
I wanted to inform you of our progress made in the attempt to discover a cure. As you advised, I followed the leads shared by our allies, none of which led anywhere. However, they both pointed in the same direction, towards a sort of god that the natives worship. They call him En-on-mil Frictaman, the god of many faces. He is very powerful and protects the island.
How can you be sure that it's not some sort of myth? Even a superstition?
I saw it with my own eyes take shape during a ritual. It is possible that the Malachor is the expression of its vengeance.
You are referring to the secret we unearthed. The entire continent is paying today for the errors of our grandparents. It is a terrifying perspective.
But if it were true, he must also be able to help us heal.
Princess, could you shed some light on this being? Is it possible to meet him?
All the Doneigada know him. He is the strength, the spirit of Tirfredi. You were looking for a demon or a remedy from plants, so I did not think of him. But yes, he is very powerful and as old as our world. He could surely heal your sickness. But it is not simple to meet him. Impossible, I would think. Though it is not my place to judge, you need to earn the trust of Glendan, the Elder of the Council. Ask him for his help.
I beg you, cousin. Go and find Glendan. Do all that he requires. Offer him all that he desires. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. My life is in your hands. And those of so many others.
I will do all in my power. I have already promised you. Where can I find this Glendan?
He lives in the village of Dorchad Genadu. It is in the heart of our island, at the entrance to our most sacred lands.
Thank you for your help, Princess. I will not forget the numerous services you have provided for us. And thank you, dear cousin, for everything.
an astounding place.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder what really happened when the missionaries came to settle here.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence. Father.
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vigsenegad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There is something strange here.
It often takes time for the people of the continent to get used to our paradise, but I am sure you will come to appreciate it.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I am busy. If you have questions, go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us, or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later, but first we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work. Greetings. Desarde. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the Islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia here, but my superior is Bishop Domitius. Our mission is to banish pagan cults and convert the entire population to the light. The island belongs to Saint Matthias, and therefore to Ptolemy, since the god of light offered it to our founder.
If your superior's Domitius, you are a member of the Ordo Luminis. I did not expect to find one of its members side by side with the missionaries. They usually do not get along.
The Order goes everywhere the light needs to be revealed.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. I doubt everyone accepts it. How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye. There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
Can't believe it. This brother Virgil was unforgivably neglectful. Idiot must have fallen asleep and then our thieves only had to take the keys from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
It has to be someone in the village. If we find them, there's a chance we can retrieve the relics.
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. Desarde. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onolmanawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Thélème, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
You're probably right. The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Like so many others.
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
I find it regrettable that my colleagues aren't more honest when it comes to history. Nothing solid has ever been built on lies.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur. Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Bertir Tumad. Yes, that is me. What do you want?
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of St. Matthias.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
The only means of alleviating the situation with Thélème is to give the priests their tablets back. So, if you don't want your son to suffer their wrath, it would be best if I could retrieve them discreetly.
Bran and the rest of the exiles are hiding in the woods, beyond the stone circle. If you want to take the tablets away from them without being seen, do not take the path on the left. It is riddled with traps. And please, do not hurt my son.
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's try not to fight them.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
Remember that we were told the area on the left was...
Do it! What are you doing here?
I'm not here to fight you, but I must retrieve the tablets of St. Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not Freddy. We will not give them back! We lost our homes and families, so the priests lose their sacred stones!
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, and once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place. Is that what you want?
No. She only told us which night we could come. They have no right to punish her for this.
I doubt the Ordo Luminous will care. They will need someone to take the blame, and she's the obvious choice.
Very well. Take the stones and leave. All that's left to do is to rejoin the Donea Exregao.
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
Don't worry, all is well. I managed to convince him to give me the tablets.
Adloredar, I did not believe my son to be so reasonable. You are giving me hope. I will go see him and tell him to find another clan. A place to welcome him.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you find.
Had you respected this village, you would not have to look for a culprit. You settled here without even asking those who lived here for their opinion on the matter. Instead of talking about harmony, start taking action to really make it happen.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
Protect me in this battle! May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! May the Enlightened protect me in this battle!
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency.
The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here, and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Mateus.
This man is burning up with fever, and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The blows did not put him in this state. He looks like a victim of poisoning. With the right antidote, I think we could get him back on his feet.
Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. These savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp. There are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Onol Manawi, you've come back to see old Lair. I heard that you managed to retrieve the tablets.
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alive, and that they will be able to join another clan. And you proved me right. Peace with the Renaigse is possible.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegad is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Thank you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us. I have to go.
Like so many others.
Here you are again. What do you want?
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegad.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the potion to cure the priest. Wait a moment. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who are at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you. You should rest now. I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
Look, this is a passage that was forced upon nature by men. The beasts must have become restless. They do not appreciate it when their living space is disturbed.
Suggested by the tablets. I have no way of knowing.
Really? But I didn't warn you.
It looks like we're right on time. If we do not intervene, they are sure to gut each other.
How can you call yourself a man of faith when you turn your back to the word of our...
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that... scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information, but you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well. I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body showed that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it.
Dara Grimmaderum Dam! Watch out! Grenade! Roscoista Ritnestiri!
The cause of death is no mystery. This man was attacked by one of those large reptiles, a Lawolan, and yet, these iridescent marks on his skin make me think that a stasis spell was cast on him first. He was intentionally immobilized so that he would fall prey to this animal. It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide when they protect their land. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to disguise a death.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy, a dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth, without any hesitation, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as assassinating several of your colleagues...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people for these crimes. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
Sorry, Brother Virgil, but I cannot accept. You will take your belongings and leave this place. The research will continue, and their discoveries will be studied by wiser people than you. The decision to reveal them or not will be theirs.
I see. My colleagues and I will go back to Eden. I hope that you don't regret your decision.
Alas, I have found the dead bodies of your colleagues.
How horrible! But how? Oh, perhaps I should have listened to Brother Virgil.
I doubt it. Brother Virgil is responsible for these deaths. He was hoping to blame the natives for them and discredit you.
What? But why would he? He will have to answer for his crimes.
As I do not have the authority to arrest him, I sent him back to Eden. If you want him to face judgment, you will have to report what happened to the Mother Cardinal.
You are right. As soon as we get back to civilization, I will make sure that she hears about it. Once more, your help has been a blessing. Take this. Alas, you will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
Watch out! Grenade! Quanto essere respiri?
their so-called saint lived around here, he must have looked for a sheltered area.
Watch out, another! Found the Dara Grimaderendam! Grenade! Look at this cave. It is a good place for an old man to settle.
Indeed, there are some traces of life here. But we will have to examine the place closely to find proof that they're safe here.
Close to Issa Nestiri. This is a cave of knowledge, or at least it looks like one. The old man must have been exceptional to be able to live in such a place.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada.
Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men duis dat, enon mil frictimen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people, enon mil frictimen.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him. Looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago, and it undeniably comes from the continent.
I seem to recall that their saint is often described as using a similar object.
So that's what it was. The priest's old sage became a Donegad. I don't think that they'll be happy about that. And yet, it could bring peace. The Solasser will no longer be able to burn our people and our guardians.
Why is he not depicted wearing the marks of the Donegada?
It was a very long time ago. Magic had not yet been given to us by Enon Mil Frichtemann.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Thélème.
The great revelation that will change mentalities for good, or the preservation of the dogma at all costs? I think you already know which side I'm leaning towards.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On the other, he prayed to a god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the Islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!
Let's see who the enlightened will favor.
Do you think you can face a woman of faith?
Let's see who the enlightened will favor.
I cannot believe that I just fought my own brothers in faith. The fact that the Inquisition is after us is very disturbing, Excellency.
We would do well to hasten to San Matthias. They will not dare to attack you there. Even if these men were the last forces that the Inquisition could send us.
You are right. All this proves is that I will not succeed without your help. There is a risk that the Mother Cardinal will also reject our discoveries.
I suppose I could use what I learned about her to persuade her. And I could bring Petrus with me. He will surely find the words to convince her.
That would be most helpful. Father Petrus is renowned for his eloquence. In any case, we must present our research to Mother Cardinal as soon as possible. I will study the tablets one last time to make sure I know all their content. And I will meet you at the palace in San Matthias to plead our case.
Understood. See you soon, Sister Eugenia. Be careful.
Ah, Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenia was just recounting me the tale of your achievements and telling me about the incredible discoveries you've made.
These relics shed a new light on the last years of our founder. It all demonstrates that he hadn't evangelized the islanders, but, on the contrary, he would even have adopted some of their rituals, merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult of nature in a single dogma.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, are extraordinary. But they also represent a great upheaval that could harm our nation. We must first verify their authenticity. You are the only ones who entered this cave. Could what you have witnessed been a falsification?
The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. There is no islander village nearby. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no one has lived there for a very long time. Fraudsters would inevitably have left traces of their passage, and we have not found any. The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures that the natives call a Nardaig. These guardians usually protect sacred places and let no one enter without a fight. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to think that nobody had entered the cave for a very long time. We discovered ancient frescoes on the walls of the cave. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. He is depicted with his chaplet. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. In the other, his face was being painted by a native. I understand how shocking these discoveries are, but their antiquity proves that they are genuine.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder had not abandoned the cult of the enlightened. He simply saw it as two different reflections of the same divine power.
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but we only have your word to convince us. The political and religious impact of these discoveries will be unprecedented. We risk schism, civil war, and who is to say that this is not a plan to weaken us?
It seems that you only see the negative aspects of this discovery, but the reality is very different. By integrating some of the natives' beliefs into your dogma, you could build an alliance with them. Something no other nation has managed to achieve before.
What good is such a reproach if our nation has fallen into chaos?
I would also like to inform you that a member of the Ordo Luminous was part of the expedition. He tried several times to sabotage it, even killing many of his colleagues for it, and finally attacked us as we were preparing to join San Matthias.
You'd have thought that the remaining members of the Order would go to such extremes. But I fear these attacks are just a reflection of what will happen if your discoveries are made public.
Your Eminence, we are faced with a crucial choice for our nation. What does a man of faith do in such a dilemma? He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way. If we are believers, can we really turn our backs on him?
You surprise me, Petrus. You who are always so political, yet your words seem sincere. You give me something to think about. Thank you.
If my people knew that the great sage they had long respected is the same man as your saint, and that your priests respected our culture as he did, they would be welcomed here as brothers.
And the Eden we wanted to build would be everywhere. You speak sense, Princess. Does anyone wish to add anything?
I understand your doubts about the future that will inevitably be caused by such a revelation. You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the journey of his master. Yet he revealed what he knew, and his words still guide Thélème today.
Thank you for your testimony. I will now retire to think about everything and make my decision. After careful consideration, I have decided that it is my duty to reveal your discoveries to the world. It will take years for our theologians to study all of this, but our dogma must follow the path opened by Saint Matthias.
Thank you, Your Eminence. I would be delighted to help with the study of these relics.
I don't doubt it, my dear. And I would like you to take me to see this cave. I look forward to worshipping at the place where our holy founder ended his days. As for you, Your Excellency, I thank you for the help you have given us. Your sincere insight has encouraged me to make this difficult decision.
It was my pleasure.
Let me also thank you, Your Excellency. Without you, we would still be in the shadows.
What do you seek?
I beg you again to lend me a hand. It may only take a few warriors to do the trick. Think about the awful fate awaiting those young women.
Who's to say this is not a trap?
Siora.
Deirdre, my friend doesn't lie. If you do not help us, these Bodairni who imprisoned our brothers will get away. We must not only free those who are captive, but also stop those who have harmed them.
You have strange friends, daughter of Bloodnid. But I trust you. Tell me more, Enaixe.
The prisoners are in a former logging facility near San Mateus.
I know where it is. The Enaixe massacred the forest there.
We will get rid of the guards there, and release the prisoners. But if any soldiers are sent to kill them thereafter, can we rely on you to intervene?
I will send you my 2 best warriors. I can't give you any more right now. They will find you where the forest has suffered. Anything more? You must go talk to Isolde and convince her to fight alongside us. Because without her men, the battle will be tough. Anything more?
I need to be going.
Gwawalem seg.
Here is the logging facility. The prisoners must be in that cabin.
No one passes.
I will pass without your permission.
Bit of poison on my blade. Let's go!
Locked. You're free.
Thank you. May the trees always bear fruits on your journey.
It was Sergeant France who told us where to find you.
France? So he kept his word. I had hoped he would.
Stay hidden here for now. We will set a trap for the people who captured you.
Then we will fight by your side. They will pay for what they have done to us.
No, you're in no condition to fight. It's better that you stay here. When we are done with them, you can return home. Thank you for coming to lend us a hand. I'm surprised. Deirdre said that she would only send 2 warriors.
It's not a Sengedin Anadas. It's a Gaius Rad, a warrior from my clan.
Betirtuma Donegad. She told Eseld your story, and we wanted to come. Young people from our clan have been captured, and we believe they are here. When Xavier also sent a warrior for the same reason.
We are most grateful for your help. Thanks to you, we can stop those who captured them.
You're there. Were you able to get rid of the guards?
Yes, and we have released the prisoners. But there are still others that we have to defeat.
I see you've managed to bring allies. With them, we have every chance of winning. Ermelind and her troops shouldn't be long. You should take position.
Anything to report, Sergeant Franz?
Negative, Lieutenant. Everything is quiet.
Where did the guards go?
I don't know.
How can you not know? Hey, what's going on?
There is poison on my blade. Then let's go! On my blade. And let's go! Come, Renaigze. You will pay for what your brothers have done. You will pay for Come, Renaigze. You will pay for what your brothers have done.
We got them.
Make sure Lieutenant Ermelind is shackled and brought back to San Mateus. She will probably be sent to New Serene to be interrogated by Manfred. She has a lot to teach us about Egon.
I hope she can help you put an end to all of this.
Can we all go home now?
Yes. We will escort you.
Breg, it's thanks to you that I realized what we were doing. I hope you'll forgive me one day for being one of those monsters. In the meantime, I will do everything I can to help stop this smuggling for good.
You are a better man than you think, friends. When you're finished, return and see me at Xavier. I will be glad to see you again.
We should go. Let's report to Quartermaster Herbert.
Your Excellency, I was told you'd returned with prisoners.
Yes. Lieutenant Ermelind organized the slave trade on behalf of the organization I told you about. Her men captured natives who were then sold here or smuggled to the mainland. We also found out that they commandeered a Naut ship to speed things up.
What madness. I guess Manfred will want to have her questioned. Lieutenant Alexander, you will accompany her with some men.
Quartermaster, at your orders.
And you, Sergeant. I understand that you participated in the despicable actions of this traitor.
It's true, Quartermaster.
I recommend clemency. Without his help, we would not have discovered what this was about.
I see. You will accompany Lieutenant Alexander. Manfred would like to talk to you, but I will make sure that he knows what role you played in this case.
Thank you, Quartermaster.
Well, I'll let you get on, sirs.
Thank you very much for your help, Your Excellency. Travel safe.
Well, things seem to be in order here now. We should go and warn Manfred.
Come and see. We'll make it for you. I'll receive beautiful things from our
Let's get rid of these money bags.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
I was able to clarify the story about the ship, and we arrested the person in charge.
I've already been told all this. Lieutenant Alexander came before you did. He told me the whole thing, and he didn't fail to tell me everything we owe you. I have already sent a letter to the Admiral explaining what happened and offering reparations. I hope she will forgive us. Anyway, I thank you very much. Once again, you have worked wonders, Your Excellency.
We couldn't have done anything without Sergeant Frantz. He showed admirable courage. I imagine he's joined your forces.
That doesn't ring a bell. I don't think a sergeant by that name is stationed here.
Strange. It seemed to me that Quartermaster Herbert told him to come and find you.
Well, perhaps he changed his mind. With this business going on, he must be sorely lacking in men. Anyway, know that our investigation has finally paid off. Lieutenant Alexander arrested many criminals with information obtained from prisoners. You should go find him. He's with Captain Ulrich.
Captain Ulrich?
The highest-ranking captain in the garrison. He's an old man who was not often found in the field, but faced with such a scandal, he had to intervene personally.
Thank you, Manfred. I'll go find them. This arrest is good news. Let's find the captain.
Ah, Your Excellency. I was talking about your exploits to Captain Ulrich.
Your Excellency?
Captain, Lieutenant. Quartermaster Manfred informed me that you had made several arrests.
Indeed. Lieutenant Ermelind confessed, which enabled us to flush out most of the gang.
I can't quite believe that all the arrested men are involved in this case. I know many of them, and could have sworn they were honorable people.
I'm sorry, Captain. I understand. It's a shock. We were all sure that our comrades would never be involved in this kind of thing.
Will you continue the investigation?
Of course. We can't stop our research until we've completely dismantled this organization.
Lieutenant Alexander was asking me to transfer him to New Serene, to be a part of the investigation there.
To manage it, if you allow it, my captain. I was honored to participate in the interrogations of Lieutenant Ermelind, and to be able to arrest all these criminals. I would not want to leave things half-finished.
As I told you, Lieutenant, I can't approve the transfer of an officer from another garrison. I must refer to the commander.
In any case, we're most grateful for your help. But we can now bring this investigation to an end without you.
I see. What goes on in the Guard is the Guard's own business.
It's a bit like that, yes. We can't let the actions of a small group compromise the reputation of the whole Guard.
You forget, once again, that you have not yet obtained your transfer, Lieutenant. In the meantime, please be dismissed.
At your orders, Captain. Goodbye, Your Excellency.
This brazen lieutenant is bordering on insubordination.
I'm sorry you had to hear this call to order. This lieutenant is inclined to forget who he's speaking to.
It must be the enthusiasm of youth.
It's possible. In any case, and contrary to what he said, we will still need your help.
Why's that?
Lieutenant Alexander claims that Ermelind's confession allowed him to arrest all these men. But I attended one of these interrogations, and all she talked about was a secret camp. The one in which Torsten's recruits received their special instruction for the coup d'etat.
A place I remember all too well.
I'm sure, Kurt. And I'm sorry for that. If I understood correctly, this place was taken back and used by the criminal organization. But our lieutenant did not mention it, which surprised me, and led me to doubt his sincerity. Perhaps Alexander failed to report it to increase his prestige later.
But he could have another motive. So you would like us to go there?
Indeed. And I'd like to accompany you. I am no longer a field officer, but I still know how to hold my own. And I want to see this case with my own eyes. You know the place, so you will be my guide.
Very well, Captain. You can count on me.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will get going right away. Will you come with me?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's hurry.
We're almost there.
How would you like to proceed, Captain?
By the book. We'll go through the whole camp, neutralizing any threat.
It's blocked.
Move away! Things are about to get...
Sergeant Franz. Poor man. He paid dearly for the help he gave us.
He was beaten to death.
Quartermaster Herbert ordered him to accompany Lieutenant Alexander to answer Manfred's questions, but he never made it to New Serene.
I was sure that the lieutenant was not genuine. He must be involved.
This document talks about eliminating the witnesses to the case.
Manfred and us are definitely on that list.
It looks like poison.
Lieutenant Klaus. So you are part of this disgusting plot.
Lay down your weapons, Lieutenant. Any resistance is futile. Your troops have been decimated.
I will not surrender, Your Excellency. Death is sweeter than the price of treason.
If you speak, we will be lenient.
You, maybe, but Egon, I doubt it. Farewell.
He's poisoned.
The plague. I'd have liked to have questioned that traitor.
These letters are signed by Egon. We must go to the office of the leader of these criminals.
We could study the handwriting to find out who's behind this pseudonym. We did a good job, Your Excellency. Egon will never come back from a hit like this.
Certainly. But we know that there are still criminals amongst your troops, including their leader.
We know that Lieutenant Alexander is involved in all this. The sergeant's body, and the fact that he didn't tell us about this camp, are telltale signs. Perhaps he will be able to provide us with a lead. Otherwise, we still have these letters.
Remember that we are targets. Just like Manfred, we will have to stay alert.
You're right. Let's get back to New Serene as soon as possible. You'll hand over the evidence to Quartermaster Manfred and assure yourself of his safety. I will go and ask our insolent lieutenant for an explanation.
Menawi!
We'll make it for you.
Oh, it's... Bertir Tumad, Onol Menawi. Do you want to... You will always be welcome here. Oh, it's you, Onol Menawi! Come and see!
Your Excellency, I wasn't sure I'd see you alive again.
How did you know we were here? Did the captain tell you?
He was arrested while coming back here. Lieutenant Alexander said he was finally reported by his accomplices.
That lieutenant has some nerve. We know he's involved. We found the body of the sergeant who was to accompany him here. He got rid of him to punish him for helping us, or to stop him from revealing more. We also found this document saying that everyone who knows about the case should be eliminated. You're in danger. And they've already found a way to get rid of the captain.
Most of the men who are loyal to him are in jail. I can't do anything without help. I've been trying to get the commander. If anybody can restore order to all of this, she can.
Here, take this evidence and show it to her.
Alas, there's nothing in there that clearly indicates who Egon is.
The recent actions of Lieutenant Alexander suggest that he is the brains behind this operation. And we only have to compare his handwriting with these letters to be sure.
I'm going to join the commander, but you should intervene. I'm afraid he'll get rid of the captain.
Your Excellency! What a joy to see you again. We finally stopped Egon. The captain will be happy.
Naturally. And that is why you are surrounded by the men I apprehended. We visited your secret camp and found the body of poor Sergeant Franz, who in spite of his death, continues to betray you. You are a member of this organization, Lieutenant. And when we compare your handwriting to the letters we have seized, it wouldn't surprise me to discover that Egon is none other than you.
We prepared a discreet death for you, worthy of your uncle's court. A little poison, and our troublesome diplomat would have been out of the way. But since you leave us with no choice, finish them.
It'll be a real pleasure.
Finally, our revenge has come.
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Come on. Let's see what you're capable of!
No, no, no! Why did you have to stick your nose in our business?
If you had not been so careless, so eager to get rich and climb to the top, maybe we would never have discovered your operations. Surrender, Alexander. Unless you prefer Egon.
Let me go! I could make you rich.
I doubt that the commander would find that arrangement acceptable.
Wretches!
I've been waiting to put this pathetic scoundrel in a hole for a long time. May I?
Be my guest, Kurt.
Your Excellency, Lieutenant Alexander was court-martialed and will soon be executed.
You have my gratitude, Your Excellency. Without you, this assassin would have probably strangled me in prison.
Manfred gave me all the evidence you gathered and told me about the case. I'm just sorry he didn't tell me about it sooner.
My apologies, Commander. But you've been so busy since starting your new position. I never thought the case would be so big.
Be that as it may, the high-ranking culprits have been punished, and the foot soldiers will be sent back to the continent. A few months on the front should bring them back to reality. We owe you so much, Your Excellency. Without you, the Guard would probably be nothing more than a band of brigands. I am extremely grateful. I will not forget what you did for us.
Don't mention it, Commander.
Siora, Asir. Always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Deirdre requested that I ask for your clan's help. She intends to attack a camp of the Ordo Luminis to set free their prisoners.
The Ordo Luminis?
It's the name of the Inquisition. The Red Suns, if you prefer.
The Sol Lasser. I see. What have they done this time?
They're still trying to convert your people by force. Those who do not accept the Enlightened are taken to this camp where they are tortured and killed if they keep resisting. Deirdre needs more warriors for this attack.
The Gaius Rad have been deeply weakened by our defeat against the Lions.
Deirdre told me that you were in her debt.
I am, but she's asking a lot more than what we owe. Our clan might not survive this battle.
By fighting alongside Deirdre, you will strengthen your alliance with her. And if some other settlers were to attack you, she would surely come to your rescue.
You are not wrong. If there's a risk we might become even weaker, we need her support. I will gather my warriors and talk to them. Did you want anything else?
Could you tell me about Siora?
You are right there, and you let him talk about you like this? A seer? That's a strange friend you have there. Perhaps I wanted to hear how you'd reply. Perhaps, but I don't like this. Did you want anything else?
Thanks. Goodbye, Aseld.
Gaius Rad, Deirdre and her Sengedin Anadas will fight against the Sol Lasser, who torture and kill our brothers. She's asking us to fight alongside her, to set our people free and stop these monsters. Shall we rise to her call?
Our spears will rise in defense of our people.
Then it is done. Let's raise our spears and leave for battle. You can leave with a peaceful mind. My warriors will fight alongside yours and Deirdre's. We will meet near the camp of the Sol Lasser.
We're almost at the fort. Should we wait here until nightfall?
Yes, let's.
There you are. And I see that you have brought the guy's rad with you.
We could not let the Senged in Anadas take all the glory.
I wouldn't expect anything less of you, Ezeld, daughter of Bladnid.
Our objective is located beyond this cliff. The Inquisitors are not expecting us. We have the element of surprise. Let's make good use of it.
We will be as discreet as a group of dosentats. They won't hear us coming.
Let's find a vantage point to get a better overview of this fort.
So, this is the place where my people are being tortured. I hope we're not arriving too late.
Most of their troops seem to be outside, as if they sense we are coming. The prisoners are most likely inside, in some basement perhaps. And it seems as if there are some in the right wing as well.
In that case, the toughest fights will take place outside. That is where I want to be.
We must strike quickly if we want to make good use of the element of surprise.
Have you thought about how you'd want us to conduct this assault?
We are behind the camp where there are fewer guards. Getting inside will prove less troublesome from this side. We will conduct 2 near-simultaneous assaults. The first larger group will attack from the front to cause chaos in the enemy ranks. As for me, my companions and I will get inside the building from the back and sneak into the basement. We will set as many prisoners free as we can and use the opportunity to search the building. Once you have eliminated the troops in front of the building, focus on the right wing.
Good. This way we'll attack them from 2 sides simultaneously.
We will conduct the first assault, and then we will go back to intercept the ones who run away.
Excellent idea. Are you ready for the assault?
When it comes to setting our brother free, we are always ready.
In that case, conduct the assault as soon as you're in position. Quick! Let's hurry and reach the prisoners before the Inquisitors kill them all. cleaned quickly, thankfully. Let's find the keys to these cells. Locked. Wait here for now. We're still fighting outside.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
Things are about to get dicey.
I think that was the last of the Inquisitors. The fort is safe now. We're done here. Let's lend a hand to our allies outside, as there are still some prisoners there.
So, will you be brave enough to fight?
These prisoners have been dead for days. There's no one left to set free. Let's get out of here. How did the battle go for you?
We prevailed. Your plan was good on Olmonawi.
Congratulations. And we were able to set the prisoners free. They were completely exhausted, but alive.
Do not worry. We will bring them back to Vedlug, so their wounds can be treated. You have shown bravery and righteousness. I will not forget it. I hope to see you in the village again soon.